Welcome in, welcome back. We're the Real Selection Committee. My name's Mike. This is Greg. And week one is in the books here. We're getting some awesome games here. A lot of fun it was, I had a great time. What did you pick up from this week here?
Well, the way I see things happening, all the top games of the weekend delivered exciting matchups. The teams, maybe some shockers that some teams didn't score more than we were maybe thinking. But, games were great. The SEC looks like it's coming back to make that statement of we're by far the best conference in college football again, right? How about Purdue winning?
Right.
By shutout over an FBS team.
Yeah, right.
And how about big, rough, tough Kent State wins a game, so they will obviously have a better record than they did last year.
Right.
But on the bad side, you had Army losing to Tarleton State, which is an FCS program.
Yeah.
Kansas State needed overtime to beat an FCS team. North Dakota.
Yeah.
And too many FCS teams on schedules.
Right.
I mean, we got to get rid of that.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, great week.
Yeah, what a great week we had there. We'll dive into, review some of these games here, highlight some of these games, and then we'll go with some picks here. But first, I just want to say thanks for watching. If you're out there, we designed this because we want you guys to comment, interact with us. Yeah. This is fun. We love college football. We're not doing this professionally. We're doing this for fun.
Yeah.
We want you guys to comment. We want you to be a part of this as much as we are. So if you could, just like and subscribe, comment in there, do what you can to interact, and maybe we'll have you even come on here, one of these times, bring you on. We picked out a couple games to highlight with the biggest game of the week.
Yeah.
Biggest game of the week, the Ohio State Texas matchup. First, I want to start off by saying Paul Feinbaum should never speak again on national TV. I think he should be looking for a new job. Maybe the Dumbo act at the circus with those big-ass ears he's got going on there. But this guy said Ohio State didn't even deserve to be on the same field as Texas here. Manning this, manning that, and Alabama's the best team out there. Wow, he couldn't be farther from the truth.
Well, look, he's an SEC pundit. So he's going to push his conference. Now, I have seen in the past where he's given Ohio State a lot of credit. It just goes to show so many people were so overconfident in Texas. We were even getting a little bit of comments about how Texas was so much better than Ohio State on our podcast. And,
right.
Texas did manage to outgain Ohio State in yardage.
Yeah.
But the name of the game yesterday for both teams were defense, defense, defense. And we kind of knew that going in with all the new faces on both offenses. Mm-hmm. So, let's get a little deeper into what happened.
Yeah, like we figured. We figured it would start out slow with two new quarterbacks starting this game here. And, man, they really had Arch Manning not knowing what was going out there. He seemed undecisive on where the reads were.
Yeah.
Kind of feet were all over the place, making bad throws behind the receivers. I mean, it just was not a great showing. I think he's going to get better as the season goes on, of course.
Yeah.
Julian Saban looked a little more at ease in there. It seemed like he's had a little better go at it. It seemed like Ohio State, at the end of the game, even Ryan Day said that they kind of scaled him back a little bit and didn't turn him loose as far as throwing the ball around. But Manning's numbers were, he was 17 of 30, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Now, going into the fourth quarter, he only had 30 yards passing. Yeah. I mean, that was incredible that they held Texas offense down. Shutout.
Yeah.
To the fourth quarter. That was crazy. I didn't see that coming.
Well, no, I didn't see it being a 14-7 game.
Yeah.
Not at all. And you can tell Arch Manning was feeling the pressure of this game. You just could.
A lot.
And, for all the people out there that want to put him down, look, he's a young kid. Mm-hmm. This is his first real game against solid competition. He has played some, yes. But this was his real first game. This is his first full season as a starter. So let's take it a little bit easy on him.
Yeah.
Now, he did struggle. Ohio State's got a pretty darn good defense. I think you all found that out yesterday.
Yeah.
And as we knew Texas's defense was really good.
Yeah.
And Ohio State was playing a very vanilla offense to protect Julian Sayin a little bit.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah, it did. It did. They tried to establish the run a little bit and give him some easy play action, get around in, get outside of the pressure, and make some little dump off passes. Jeremiah Smith kind of had a couple drops. I think he needs to settle down and just relax. I mean, I know this whole off season built him up to being the greatest player in college football right now. Mm-hmm. He is a very good, talented player, and I think he needs to just settle in, catch the ball. He'll make big things happen. He just needs to relax.
The only way his professional career goes down the tubes is if he has a bunch of drops.
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't have to have the same season as last year. Everybody knows he's a professional caliber wide receiver.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be throwing all the coverage on him. So even if he has just barely 1,000 yards, he's still, by far, just being on the field, opening up the side for Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis.
Yeah.
Ohio State's offense needs to settle down. Mm-hmm. Just play like they're capable of playing. That they were definitely scaled back.
Yes.
To protect Julian Sayin. The real thing will come after the middle part of the season, after Sayin's feet are definitely wet and he's ready to roll. Yeah. That's when Ohio State's offense is going to look like Ohio State's offense. But my takeaway was there were a lot of guys kind of trying to overperform.
Yes.
Jeremiah Smith's got the Heisman on his mind because everybody's putting that in his mind.
Yeah.
Don't get frustrated. Just go out there and play ball, get W's.
You could see the frustration in him, and it's like, you're going to get yours. Just relax.
Yes.
He seemed to be
week one.
Way nervous, yeah.
It's just week one.
Sayin ended up with 13 for 20, one touchdown. He had that 40-yard bomb. Was an amazing catch by Carnell Tate in the end zone. The guy was getting tackled, no flag thrown, but he managed to hold on to the ball. What a great play that was.
Yeah.
So the running game, rushing, Q Wisner was the leading rusher for Texas. He had 16 carries, 80 yards. C.J. Donaldson, a transfer from West Virginia, kind of took the big reins here at the running back position. He had 19 carries, 67 yards, and he had that one little fall in the end zone,
they all count.
1 yard run into the end zone. That was a big score there.
And, you talk about a 1 yard run. Texas didn't get any 1 yard runs down in the red zone. And they had to be, the Texas fans had to be frustrated.
Yes.
You have Wisner in the backfield, and you try to sneak Arch Manning on the goal line.
Yeah.
If I was a Texas fan, I'd be losing my mind. That's just ridiculous.
Right.
Arch Manning, if he didn't find his read, he started running, his feet got happy.
Yeah.
Texas, another team. You got to calm down. Mm-hmm. It's week one.
Yeah.
Put your mouthpiece in next week, go out there and play ball.
Right.
Reset.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I agree there. Now let's jump on the defensive side. We knew this was going to be a struggle. And I just want to say Ohio State's defense stepped up. Yeah. This was the biggest question, was Manning's era and Ohio State losing so much to the NFL. The whole defensive line was gone. The defensive line played awesome. Tremendous.
They looked really
great.
Good.
Yeah.
And Texas got a lot of their yardage in that scoring drive at the end of the game where Ohio State's playing a little loose, which I hate that. You had them, you were strangling them all game. Get up in there and keep playing the way you are. You got a 2-touchdown lead.
Right.
If they burn you, you're still up a touchdown. But hey, to hold Texas to that just says how good Ohio State's defense is. What I love is everybody's talking about how, obviously Texas must be bad. No, it's week one. We saw a lot of games yesterday where some teams didn't look real good.
Right.
So keep in mind, folks, week one.
Yeah. Yeah. And Ohio State's defense, was smothering. I think they forced Arch into a lot of bad decisions as well. The standouts, Arvell Reese at the linebacker position, sack. A lot of solo tackles. What a great game he had. Another guy I was very excited about was Davison Igbinosa, who last year was a holding machine. This year had a great game. He prevented, Texas had 2 red zone times in there, and one we stopped them on that goal line, sneak up the center, and then that one pass in the end zone that was broken up by Igbinosa. So they held Texas out of the end zone until that one last drive that they got that incredible pass there and catch.
Yeah. What Texas fans need to realize is they did move the ball a little bit. It's not like they had 336 yards of total offense. So they moved the ball. They just didn't get it done in the red zone. And you're playing another powerful team. It's week 1. It is what it is. And the refs did let them play yesterday. We saw a lot of plays where Texas's defensive backs were all over Ohio State guys.
Yeah, they were.
And the refs let them play, and they were consistent. They didn't call it. We were concerned that a call would come down at the end of the game that might cost one team or the other.
Yeah, exactly.
On a play that, they weren't calling earlier. They let them play all day, so you can't complain about that either.
Yeah, the takeaway from that game is Ohio State's a lot better than people are thinking. They thought that they lost so much where they would not be able to. They thought they were a 9-3 win team here, which I think they put everybody on notice in there.
Well, that certainly plays to Ohio State's favor. Texas should not be losing any sleep because it's game 1. You played number 3 in the country. Both of these teams are going to be just fine.
Yeah.
So let's just see what happens. But, to your point, you got the professionals like Paul Feinbaum saying how Ohio State's not going to be very good. Well, what do you got to say today, Paul?
What do you know? Hey, let us know what you think about that. That was crazy. Ohio State
great game.
Was very impressive to me.
We were on the edge of our seats.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
I mean, and we knew we were going to be on the edge of our seats with Texas coming in town because Texas is by far going to be a great team.
They're a great team.
No doubt. So let's move on to, I think, the second biggest game of the weekend was LSU Clemson.
Yes.
The score ended up being 17-10. LSU edged Clemson here. We kind of predicted and thought Clemson was going to win this game, being a home game. We just felt like the returning starters, 80% of the production that was last year from Clemson is still there. This team is intact. We just thought that they were a little better of a team. But LSU is, without a doubt, a good team here.
Well, the one thing we did say was LSU's defense was spectacular.
Yes, you had them graded very high. You probably had them highest graded in the SEC.
Well, they were definitely right there. And we mentioned that we felt LSU's defense would keep them in the game. I thought Clemson would win this game, like 31-21, but I had kept saying every time we talked about it that LSU could win the game. Maybe, and I had said that LSU's always that team. Well, maybe this will be the year they get it done. Clemson's a good football team.
Oh, very good.
And they held them to 10 points.
Yeah. I mean, another low-scoring game, 17-10. I mean, just crazy. Fun game to watch. Defenses stood out in this game. Both of them have studs on the defensive side. The offensive side, Garrett Nessmeyer was 28 for 38, one touchdown, 230. Had a spectacular game. Just looked in control. Looked like the very solid, good quarterback on this team here.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Cade Klubnik he had another good game himself. He was 19 for 38, over 200 yards passing himself with an interception. He looked to be a little more lost than Nessmeyer. A lot of their drives stumbled, and he had some bad reads, bad plays here. But Clemson is a good team.
They'll be fine, but here again, much like Texas, a lot of pressure is being put on Clemson. And it wasn't just us that were out there saying, hey, this team could play for a national title. So a lot of pressure on these guys. They didn't have that pressure last year because no one was calling for Clemson. They got blown out in the first game last year. This year, very underwhelming performance. But, hey, it's week 1.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And here was the thing that we question marked or kind of spotlighted on Clemson's offense was the running back position is where we felt there was their little chink in their armor. Right there was their running back position. They struggled. I think they ended up with about 30 yards rushing.
20 attempts for 31 yards
Yes.
overall, a 1.6 average.
Yeah.
They did get a touchdown, so obviously they must have been 1 yard
Yeah,
out.
fell out, yes.
But anyway, that's not going to get it done.
No.
And you cannot put all the pressure on Cade Klubnik.
No.
As good as he is,
Right.
you can't put it all on him, because if you do, then these teams can load up with the pass rush and load up on your receivers.
Right.
Because they do not have to worry about a running game.
Yeah.
You got to become more than one-dimensional.
Yeah, and the thing about being the one-dimensional, too, is they lost their star receiver. Antonio Williams didn't play in this game, who he was their stud, so it left it, they were kind of short-manned on the receiver position, where, that isn't a good thing there when you lose your top star at the receiving position.
Especially against a team like LSU, which we all have in the top 10. Mm-hmm. So, hey, it's still a great game.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And they may see each other again.
Yes. Oh, they definitely may see each other again.
Right.
The biggest thing on this game here was the defense just stood out to me watching this game on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Were loaded. LSU, I think, is going to be trouble in this SEC conference here. A lot of them are kind of, they're the third or fourth wheel team in this conference here, but that really set a tone, I think, for LSU. Can Brian Kelly get this team to win those big games?
Right.
Well, we saw one the start of the season. That was a big win for them. I think that's going to help.
It should. That's a really big win against a really good football team. The trouble for LSU has never been in the first 5 or 6 games.
Right.
It's after they get into the meat of the SEC schedule where they seem to fall apart.
Yeah.
Will that trend continue? This game kind of throws the hammer in there that it won't happen.
Right.
This kind of makes me think maybe I could be wrong keeping them out, but got a lot of season to go yet.
Yeah. That was a great game, and that was the big second biggest game of the week. I felt this game, the biggest surprise of the week. I don't think many people picked this game to go this way or even be this lopsided. I mean, come on. Alabama versus Florida State. Florida State just looked so much better than Alabama. They dominated this game in the trenches, which you never see Alabama getting dominated in the trenches. The offensive line for Alabama just could not keep Florida State out. I mean, they were pressuring Ty Simpson, making him he looked goofy back there, like he did not know what was going on. The game was way too fast for him. He struggled. I mean, Ty Simpson, 23 for 43 attempts, 2 touchdowns, 254 yards. And, they could only muster up 17 points on that. Florida State got 31, and Tommy Castellius only threw 14 attempts, completed 9, and they put 31 points up on the board here. Crazy.
When you run the ball, you don't have to throw.
Yeah.
And Castanelis's strength is more movement.
Yes.
And we did mention during our broadcast where we talked about Florida State and Alabama that Alabama seems to struggle with the moving quarterback.
Yes.
And the big point I've stated about Alabama, and the reason I don't have Alabama in the playoffs, is focus.
Right.
This is a game they were highly favored in. Mm-hmm. We didn't think it would even be close.
Yeah.
We were calling for a 3-touchdown win for Alabama. Yeah. And maybe Florida State was Vanderbilt yesterday. I don't know. But crazy. You couldn't have got me to bite on Florida State winning the game, even if you spotted them 20 points.
Right.
I thought Alabama was going to come out this year and say we're back. Last year was a little bit of a fluke.
Yes.
Ain't starting that way.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely hit the nail on the head that the focus. This does not look like a Nick Saban Alabama team. This DeBoer definitely has this team. I don't know what's going on there.
It's the players. It is not the coach, because that coach brought Washington back. I think it was Washington. He put Washington back into the national championship game a couple years ago.
Right.
So let's stop blaming DeBoer. It's you players. Get your head out of your rear end and play football, and you fans do the same. There's no excuse for it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just bad football on Alabama's part, or just that maybe Florida State's more the 12-0 team from 2 years ago.
That we thought.
That
yeah.
that none of us saw coming. We did say we think Florida State's back to relevancy. They announced it yesterday in uncertain terms.
Yeah, they definitely put the ACC on notice. That game there was an incredible victory for Florida State.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, they dominated in the trenches, both sides. Alabama's offense struggled to get any type of traction. They scoring late here. And then on the other side, this Castanelis just looks like he's the X factor for this team here. He looks like he's going to be the driving force for this team here. And I'd watch out for the ACC because it's going to be trouble.
Yeah, let's let the season play out. But Florida State definitely announced to the ACC, y'all forgot about us.
Yeah.
And hey, they might be a player. We'll see.
Yeah, right. So let's dive quickly into one of the games happened Friday night here. We had Georgia Tech at Colorado. This game here, we kind of felt Georgia Tech was going to win this game. I was a little impressed with the fight that Colorado did in this game here. Colorado hung in this game here and made it a close game, 27-20. I had Georgia Tech as a sleeper in this conference here. I think they're a team that you better watch out for. Hines King is one of those guys that just has that moxie about him, can make big plays. He can do it with his feet. He can extend the play, throw it downfield. Yeah. He was hard to contain. He played very well.
He definitely did it with his feet. 156 yards rushing with 3 touchdowns rushing.
Yes.
So, they're in. Colorado obviously had a hard time with him. His passing was not so impressive, but hey, week 1.
Yeah.
And we felt that this game would be close. Mm-hmm. And we felt Georgia Tech would win. I don't see too much of a surprise in this. Colorado should be left with a little bit of a feeling of, hey, we're close.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't see anything. They had 305 total yards offense, which isn't terrible.
No.
Now, you got to work on this giving up 463, which is what Georgia Tech had.
Yeah, they gave up.
So, you got to get a little bit better and stronger in that regard. But, hey, it's week 1.
Yeah.
Good game.
I was impressed with Caden Solder.
Yes.
I think he looked very good back there. Looked like he had control of the offense. He's another scrambling quarterback. I think they're going to need him to do that.
Yep.
Get the ball downfield. He looked pretty good. He had 159 yards passing, 1 touchdown. They just couldn't get any sustainable drives. They had penalties that were killing them, and just a lot of bad plays out there. But I started thinking that Colorado was a 6-6 team. The way they played yesterday against Georgia Tech, I think they could get back in the mix here.
They could be an 8-win team. The Big 12's kind of looking a little bit
undecided,
weird,
really.
But let's wait and see. I mean, we knew Caden Salter was going to come out there and replace Sanders, and if Caden Salter don't watch it, he may get his jersey retired at the end of the year. If he goes 6-6, maybe
6-6, they might retire it. I agree.
So we'll see. But no, in all seriousness, he's a good football player. I think Colorado's going to be fine. We both had him at the 6-6. They could end up being an 8-4 team. We'll just have to wait and see if the Big 12 straightens around.
Yeah. Another game that was a big game was on Friday as well on the same time. Auburn versus Baylor. Now, we really thought we were pretty high on Baylor coming into this game. We knew Auburn was starting to get a little momentum. Yeah. They got some talented players on their team. But Auburn just put a beating on them from right off the rip. They beat them 38-24.
Well, it never helps when you give up an opening kickoff return.
Right.
Which is what happened.
Yes.
And, Baylor hung in there a little bit. I mean, it wasn't a complete blowout, 38-24. But, Baylor got beat in their own house by a team that we both agree appears to be coming back to relevancy.
Yeah.
I got Auburn is having 415 total yards of offense, which isn't bad. Baylor had 483 yards of offense, but that tells me they were behind and were lighting it up with the passing game.
Yeah.
So, Sawyer Robertson was 27 of 48 for 419 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. So he had a great game, but by the same token, when you're behind and you're chasing points,
yes.
you're gonna have
put up numbers. Yeah.
So, but by the same token, he's got the ability to do that.
Right.
So, if I'm Baylor, I'm a little upset we lost to Auburn because that's probably a game most of us were figuring Baylor would win.
Mm-hmm.
But you did get a little bit out of this game where you have players.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to regroup, put your mouthpiece in, like we said earlier about Texas, and get out there and play from this point forward.
Right. The thing we talked about with Auburn is they got that transfer, Jackson Arnold,
Yes.
who was on Oklahoma last year, that led them to beat Alabama last year. So we knew coming in that this kid had some crucial games under his belt and he was going to be pretty good. But he's the catalyst of this team here.
Yes.
I mean, he had over 137 yards rushing.
Yeah.
This kid looked really poised back in the pocket, making all the good reads. And then when he felt under pressure, he got downfield. And Auburn, their defense, I was pretty impressed with their defense. They kind of held Baylor at bay until later in the game here.
Yeah.
And then, when they got that big lead, it was kind of just, keep everyone in front, let them go down the field, and that ended up getting, points there.
It makes their defense look worse because the yardage is so high, but a lot of that's because they were winning by 2 touchdowns most of the game. And, just a second with Arnold rushing, Auburn's running back, Alston, had 84 yards rushing, 5.3 average with a touchdown. So their running back contributed too. So watch out for Auburn maybe. That's why I say the SEC looks like they're banging their chest. Here we come.
Mm-hmm.
But we did also say there was 8 or 9 bubble teams in this conference.
Yeah.
There you go. Proof of it.
So any other highlighted areas or games that you want to talk about?
Yes, there is. How about the Bulls of South Florida? You heard it here first, folks.
Yes.
I told you. I may have been wrong on some of these other picks of these games that were basically 50-50 picks, which we weren't the only ones wrong on.
No.
But you know what I wasn't wrong on? This game.
Yes.
South Florida versus Boise State. And I'm going to say, other than true South Florida fans, I may have been the only person to pick them.
Right.
And not only did they prove me right, they went out and beat Boise State into the ground.
Yes.
And I have a world of respect for Boise State, but you might be out of it right now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I hate to say that it's week 1.
Yeah.
You don't have room to lose.
No.
And you got Notre Dame on your schedule. So the best thing working for Boise State is the Mountain West. Looks like it's a train wreck. And but South Florida, if they didn't have these next 2 games coming up, they would be an easy shoe-in. And those 2 games won't hurt them as far as their conference goes. So, 34-7. Who saw that?
No.
I didn't see that.
No, I didn't see that. I picked Boise State to win this. I felt they were the class of that group of 5 here.
Yeah.
But, man, they looked absolutely lost out there. That Madison just was completely lost out there.
Yeah.
And the rest of the team was not helping him out either. The defense was getting sliced up here. South Florida is for real. You hit that nail right on the head there. This team, like you said, has a lot of returning players. They're a solid team. They right now, I'd put them in. They look so good.
Well, I would too. And their strength of schedule out of conference is better than anybody's.
Yeah.
When you actually take out of conference schedule, they got Boise State. They play Florida this week coming up.
Big
and
game.
then they got Miami of Florida after that.
I
So
mean,
you want to talk about an ambitious schedule.
They're not ducking anybody.
If they get one more win in there, they might get ranked.
Yes.
They might have been able to make it no matter where they were. But, they had 2 wide receivers bordering 100 yards receiving. And Boise State, they're not bums.
No.
Okay, we're not talking. We're not talking Kent State defense. We're talking a Boise State defense that's generally good. Boise State, year in and year out, is always that team in the group of 5 that reloads with good prospects. But hey, what do you got to say? What can you say? That's just utter domination by a team that I'm sure none of you even knew had a team until I said something.
Right.
So,
yeah. I mean,
there it is.
Yeah, let us know if you saw that prediction. He did predict that. He has the Bulls of being a force to reckon with there.
And I believe they just announced it.
Yeah, they came out strong.
They saw my broadcast and said, we got to uphold Big G.
Yeah, that was an incredible game. Any other highlights there?
Well, the only other game we should really sort of touch on is we've been a little tough on Tennessee, right? And, granted, Syracuse is not what they was last year. But they're still ranked like 49th by me, which is okay. Tennessee went out and beat them up pretty good, 45-26. Their quarterback, Joey Aguilar, all he did was have 16 for 28, 247 yards, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty solid performance. Tennessee had 346 total yards of offense. Their defense held Syracuse to 277 yards.
Yeah.
Angeli, the quarterback Syracuse, had a decent game himself, 23 of 40 for 274 yards, a touchdown and an interception. I did not see the game personally, so I don't know how bad the interception hurt Syracuse, but I do know Syracuse was never really in the game. They kept it close. They kept it respectable, but they were never really.
They battled back. I mean, they got so far behind, it was hard for them to mount that comeback win. I mean, the comeback, yes, but to win the game outright was going to be pretty tough.
So I think, we've been a little tough on Tennessee, kind of saying we don't think they're going to hang around. I still don't think they're going to be anything to worry about, but that's a nice game for a team that there's a lot of questions about, and we all know how Nico did over the weekend. And that didn't turn out too good.
No, bad business decision, I would say.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a fun weekend. So let's get into the fun part here. Oh, one more thing I wanted to do here is, I'm going to give this Buckeye sticker to Matt Patricia, the Ohio State Buckeyes defense, for going out there and making Texas look like they were average when everybody thought this team was going to light them up.
Yeah.
I want to give them a sticker. Matt Patricia.
We
forgot about coach. What's that guy's name? Oh, Jim Knowles. We forgot about him.
And hey, we've said he was a good coach.
Yeah.
We didn't lose anything, but I'll say this: I think he was the second best performer of the weekend. Because I should get a Buckeye sticker for predicting South Florida to win. But hey, well deserved. The Buckeyes aren't going anywhere, folks. I'm sorry for you haters, you people up north.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Right. So let's dive into the second week here. Games. We highlighted a couple games. First game on the slate for us, what we want to talk about is the Fighting Illini versus the Duke Blue Devils here. You feel that Duke is a team to watch out for here.
I do. Duke graded well in my work in the preseason. That doesn't always translate, but let me say this. They're not going to be a pushover, folks. Their defense looks really strong in the preseason work I did. And we know Illinois is one of the best rated teams in my work on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I think this will be a pretty good football game. We didn't really get much of a good feel for either of them because they both played kind of underwhelming opponents over the first week. But I do believe Illinois will get the job done against Duke. But that doesn't mean Duke's a bad team.
Yeah. We got Illinois is one of those playoff teams, and this is a little stepping hurdle right here for you. Duke we do feel is a scrappy team here. I think that the difference here is, like you touch base on a lot, is the returning players. This team is built on players with quality starts, quality playing time. I think this team is going to have a good game here. I believe they're going to win this game as well. It's a 2.5 spread here, point spread on this game.
Well, that just tells you that my prediction
They
of
feel-
Duke is
Duke's
right there.
They feel Duke's a good
Admirable
team.
team, and I do think Illinois will beat them. But it's going to be a heck of a game. And let's reference the Boise State South Florida game.
Mm-hmm.
No one thought that could happen.
Mm-hmm.
You even respected South Florida a little bit.
Yes.
But you didn't think that was
Oh,
possible.
no, I
So
wouldn't have.
we got to give Duke that fighting chance because anything can happen. And I will say, I still think Duke's the 4th or 5th best team in the ACC. Florida State announced yesterday that they won in. I'm not ready to put them there yet.
Right.
But, we'll see what happens. But Duke, keep your eye on that team, folks.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if this game isn't closer than close going into the fourth quarter.
I'm going with the Fighting Illini. Yeah. They're going to win this game, and I think they'll. I got 10 points on that. Yeah. I got to win it by 10.
I'm going to take Illinois by about a 31-18 margin. I think it'll be closer than that into the fourth quarter, and Illinois will get a touchdown late to say, here we are.
Right.
But it'll be a good game, and there'll be some people talk that Illinois didn't play anybody. Keep your eye on Duke all season, folks.
Yeah, Duke is
They're
a quality opponent.
Yes.
So the next game I want to talk about is going to be Baylor at SMU here. The line is 3 points. SMU is favored in this game here. What do we make of Baylor here? I felt Baylor is a better team coming into this game than SMU.
Oh, yeah, Baylor's better. And, Baylor ran into Auburn.
Yeah.
The SMU play, I don't even remember who they played, but it wasn't anybody good.
Right.
And SMU got a win, yes. They don't win this coming week. Baylor is a good football team. I do not let that game against Auburn take me away from saying Baylor's good. Baylor's an 8-4 type team. I got Baylor beating SMU.
I think Baylor, I'm still sticking with Baylor here in this game here. Sawyer Robertson is a great quarterback. They still got Washington at the running back position. That's the air it out in, pound it out with Washington. SMU, the Mustangs. They got Calvin Jennings is that X Factor guy who is exceptional quarterback here. Hell, he made SMU go undefeated in this ACC, so he's a quality quarterback here as well. But I still kind of think that Baylor's the better quality team here. They got a little higher returning rate of players on the team here. This game is a 60.5 over under here. So this game is going to be a scoring fest here.
Yeah, I got Baylor. I got them 42-31.
Wow, you're going with a high scoring game here, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I got Baylor winning this game. They're going to cover that 3.5 or 3 points here that they're getting, obviously. I think it's going to be like a 34-31 kind of score. So, they're going to go over on that. I think this game is going to be kind of moving the ball around here.
I would have called it closer had Baylor won. But Baylor's going to come into this game pretty ticked off.
Yeah, they're going
to. SMU is going to get the brunt of that anger.
Yeah.
Now, here again, SMU could shock us all. I mean, I'm not going to say SMU is a garbage team, but I think Baylor's better than them.
Yeah. The next game we kind of looked at as being a big game here is Iowa versus Iowa State. The in-town rivals here clashing. Iowa State's favored by 2.5 points, and the over/under's 44.5. So
these two always play each other tough. Where's the game at? Is it at Iowa State?
It's at Iowa State,
okay.
Yes.
So that gives Iowa State a little bit of the advantage.
That's why they have the push.
I do believe Iowa State will get it done. The win over Kansas State, that big got to get up for another team in our conference that is right there with it. Iowa coming to town. They will be up. They will be ready. These two are rivals. I believe Iowa State will get the job done. This game, I'm going to call this 23-20. Iowa State.
Yeah. So the thing we talked about Iowa's that boring team here, doesn't put up many points, but this team is different. This team has got a little more offensive power here. They're putting up some numbers here. They got that Gronkowski transfer here, who they're really high on. He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
They're really excited about him, and the Iowa Hawkeyes offense is more explosive than they had been in the past.
But I do like Iowa State. I think Iowa State knows that they have a real opportunity this year.
Yeah, here's the young coach that we really like. Matt Campbell is the Iowa's coach. We like him. Now they got Rocco Beck as their quarterback, who's a very good quarterback. And Iowa State is another team that has a lot of returning players here from last year, where that team looked like they were going to be the class of the Big 12 conference, and I think they're ready to do it this year. We're high on Iowa State as being one of them contenders.
Well, I think Iowa State's right there. We're a little higher on Texas Tech and Arizona State, but Iowa State's on their butt. Yet here's the thing with these: you start getting into conference play, everything gets bigger. The games get harder to win. I don't care what conference you're in, because these are teams you play every year. So Iowa State, Iowa's going to be a really good football game. You're right. Iowa's not that. Score 10 points and rely on the defense. If anything, their offense is a little better, has a little more experience in the defense this year.
Yeah.
And last year, Iowa did have 40 points 2 or 3 games, which is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Iowa's going to show a little more to Iowa State this year. But I do think Iowa State gets it done, like I say, 23-20.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Iowa State as man. When I look at these two teams here, it's that pick 'em. It's that tough game here.
It is.
I like Iowa State just for the returning players, the more experienced side of the team here.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Iowa State as well, winning this game, covering that 2.5.
Yep.
So. Now, this game I'm putting you on check right here. We're going to go with your South Florida, traveling to Florida, playing the Florida Gators here. This game right here is going to be a tough game for South Florida to win this game here.
I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. This is going to be Florida all the way.
Yeah.
I like South Florida. They're a quality football team, but Florida is a whole another animal from Boise State. I have Florida in the playoffs. I have them a lock in the playoffs as far as I'm concerned. I have South Florida a lock if they take care of business the rest of the way. So, but this game here, as I mentioned when we talked about South Florida's win over Boise, this is ambitious. Yeah. I think South Florida will hang around a little bit. You know what I mean? I do not think this is going to be a blowout the whole way through. I do think the final score will show that Florida is the better team.
Yes.
I have this game going about, I'm going to say it's going to be about 41-21. Florida.
Yeah, we saw South Florida as they hung around with Alabama last year. So this team does know a little bit about playing these SEC schools. They do have a lot of talent on their team, but you've been on Florida's being the class of the SEC here. DJ Lagway and the boys. Florida Gators are back, I think. I mean, defensively they're strong.
Yes.
Offensively, they got a lot of talent, led by Lagway. You're right. I mean, I think this game is going to be, I don't want to say a blowout. I think they hang around till about half, and then the talent and the big boys on the Florida team are going to take over, and I think they're going to pull away late.
Yes.
I got a score in the 40s, 42 to, I'm going to give South Florida getting about 21.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a tough task to ask South Florida to beat Florida.
Absolutely, but I will say, they're a quality football team, and if they do make it into the group of 5, they will deserve it.
It'd be, for sure. But their schedule is...
They're out of conference is brutal. This schedule looks like it was made for a team that expects to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. So one more game I feel is probably the best game of the week here. Michigan going to Oklahoma here. Oklahoma's favored by 2.5. This is going to be a game right here. We're going to see what Michigan's built on. And, you know, they got Bryce Underwood that everyone's talking. This guy's the greatest quarterback, and he's going to win a ton of games, and he very likely could. How do you see this game playing
Well,
out
I'll tell
here?
you what. I started watching the Michigan-New Mexico game last night.
Yeah.
And Justice Haynes had a big long run for a touchdown, was basically untouched. And then Michigan it went up 14-0 like real quick, so I shut it off. I'm like, I know what's going to happen. Because New Mexico is like in the hundreds of their rank. But I missed a good game after that because New Mexico kind of hung with Michigan a little bit. And I had to laugh on Facebook today because there's a lot of Michigan fans pounding their chest and saying, oh, look at us. You beat a team that's ranked like 105 in the country, guys. 34-17.
Yeah.
It's a workmanlike win. Win's a win. Go out there, win the game. You come out of it healthy. But don't pound your chest saying, look how great we are.
Yeah.
You look good against a bad team.
Right.
Oklahoma, same thing.
Yeah.
They played a bad team as well. What do I think is going to happen in this game? Wow. These two are about mirror images of one another. Both of them with aspirations to make the playoffs. Both of them capable. Okay? Michigan has a better chance because their schedule is not tough.
Softer.
Oklahoma's, on the other hand, is an SEC schedule.
Gauntlet. Yeah.
I think Oklahoma is going to beat them. Not because I dislike Michigan. I think Oklahoma's a better team. I've said that basically from day one. I think Oklahoma beats them. It's in Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma wins this game 28-24.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, Bryce Underwood, as talented as he is, and Justice Haynes, who ripped off 3 touchdown runs in that game, I think they're running into a different beast here. Oklahoma Sooners are, like you said, a team that's on the verge of being a tough team in the SEC. John Mateer, who's a superstar. There's really a lot of hype on this kid coming in. They're going to be they're a different team. I think Oklahoma's going to win this game. I think Michigan's defense is going to hold them
they'll keep them in the game, and they got athletes.
In the game.
You know,
if they muddy it up, like you said, against Ohio State kind of game here, they could win this game.
They could win because they're better at the talent positions. Haynes is a beast. And I mean, that run he had that I saw, the first touchdown he ran, was just outstanding. It even had me like, oh, that's good. You know, and the quarterback, Underwood, he didn't look bad.
No.
But New Mexico, while they're FBS and they'll give you a look, that's not Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So the things that were easy last week are not going to be as easy this week.
Right.
Will he get frustrated or will he take it in stride? That's the game within the game I want to see.
Right.
Does Underwood say, hey, you know what? This is going to have some tough go here.
Right. Right.
What happens? What happens with his mind there? I know Haynes is going to be fine. He transferred from Alabama, so this is a guy that's used to playing tough teams.
Yeah, he's come from out.
But I got Oklahoma in this game. Like I say, 28-24.
Yeah, I got Oklahoma in this game as well. I think they'll just kind of overpower Michigan in this game. I got them. I'm looking at like a 34-21 score here.
You're really high on Oklahoma then.
I think they're going to be able to move the ball. This Mateer's kind of a moving quarterback. He can scramble. He can run. And Oklahoma can throw the ball here. So this is going to be a good game here. I just feel that Oklahoma's going to get in Underwood's face and kind of make him make mistakes and get some turnovers in this game to allow them to put points up on the board.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma's just a little bit better, and I agree with you on all the points you made. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Should be an outstanding football game, and you know, as much as I kind of I'd be tarred and feathered for this. I'd kind of like to see Michigan win for the Big Ten over the SEC factor, but you know. Hold the phone. Right.
Yeah, I mean, what an interesting matchup. Week 2 is going to have some good games for you on the slate. Excited college football's back. And, hey, like and subscribe, comments. Like I said, we want you to interact with us. We definitely value your opinion, and we'll
Certainly.
discuss your opinion. Let us know, hey, we do this because we want to hear from other people. So
Yeah, we enjoy the
definitely.
game.
Yeah.
We want to share that enjoyment with others that enjoy the game.
Yes.
Comment, give us some knowledge on your teams, folks.
Yeah.
That's all we've ever asked. We understand that even though we did a heck of a lot of work on these teams, we don't know some of the secondary players like a real fan would know. Like we knew Ohio State's some of the players others don't know.
Yeah.
Give us that information, and you know what? It'll get better and better, more reliable. We'll be able to predict things more reliable, so maybe you can take that to the bank.
Yeah, right. Hey, we'll catch you next week.
Peace.